Okay, let's try and look at some more problems with parabolas. In this case, they actually give us a graph. They want us to come up with the standard equation for this graph. So the first thing you do is you figure out what kind of parabola we have. This is a left and right parabola. Actually opens to the left. But I know what a left and right parabola means. I end up having the y squared. Now hopefully you can see me writing down here. So I know the standard equation of this parabola is going to be y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. So really what I need to get the equation for the parabola is hk, the vertex, and then the value of p. And then I've got the equation. Well, they gave me the vertex. The vertex here is 3, -2. So right away I can say, well, it's y. So the value, it's -2. So I'm going to call y plus 2 quantity squared equals 4p, and the x is 3x minus 3. So y plus 2 quantity squared equals 4p times x minus 3. Now if I can figure out the p, I'm done. And you notice on this graph, they actually give us this point on the graph. Here's a point on the graph, 1, 0, x1, y0. The reason they give us that is we need that to be able to calculate the p. I'm going to plug in the point 1, 0 into my equation, and when I do that, the only variable I have left in the equation is the p. So y is 0, 0 plus 2 squared equals 4p, x is 1, 1 minus 3. So 2 squared is 4 equals 4p times minus 2. 4 equals -8p. Looks like p is -1/2. So now I can pretty much write the equation. Y plus 2 squared, if p is -1, -1/2 times 4 is -2, equals -2 x minus 3. All right, so once again, what did we do here? We first determined which standard equation we needed to use because of the kind of parabola. Since this was a left and right parabola, I knew it's a y squared standard equation. So I wrote y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. This is the standard equation. H and k are the vertex. Very easy to get right away. The vertex is 3, -2. I can plug those in. The only thing left is to figure out the p. The way we find the p is they give us a point on our graph. I plug in that point for x and y, calculate p, and we're done. Here's the second one. This right here is just a mistake, that's nothing. So here it looks like a parabola opens down. Now this one, they actually give us the focus. And you can see up here is a directrix. And once again, they want us to find the equation for this parabola. Well, since this opens down, I know it's a parabola where I'm going to have the x squared. So my starting point is going to be x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k, right? So that's the standard equation. Now, they did not label it, but actually, right here is the vertex. Looks like it's at 2, 1. So I can go ahead and plug in x minus 2 squared equals 4p y minus 1. Once again, all I need is the value of p. Now p, we know, is the distance from the vertex to the focus or from the vertex to the directrix. Either way, but we can see here, obviously it's 3. So since p is 3, I can plug in 3 for p, so I get 12 in front of my parenthesis. Let me write that in, although there's still one more change we have to make. So even though I figured out this number is 12, I still have to make sure the sign is correct. Since this parabola opens down, what should my sign be? Positive or negative? Well, a parabola that opens down should have a negative coefficient, so at the very end, I go ahead and make that coefficient negative. So the equation of that parabola is x minus 2 quantity squared equals negative 12 times y minus 1. All right, so those are not too bad. Now the last kind of problem we can work through is when they just give you some information about a parabola and ask you to find the equation. So how about they say that the focus equals negative 4, 0, and the directrix is x equals 4. All right, I strongly encourage you, if these kinds of problems, go ahead and try and graph whatever you can, because it may help you see it and it may keep you from making mistakes. So if I say, well, the focus is negative 4, 0, and the directrix is x equals 4. First thing I know is the vertex is always halfway between the focus and the directrix line. So right away I know there's my vertex. So I know the vertex is going to be 0, 0. And then also I know, let's just write the standard equation. Since it's written like this, I know this has to be a left and right parabola. Looks like it actually opens to the left. So I know my standard equation is going to have my y squared. So it's going to be y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. My vertex is 0, 0. So now the equation just simply becomes y squared equals 4p, just for now we'll call it negative 4ph, but we'll check that negative sign when we're done, make sure it's correct. But can I figure out the value of p? Well, what's the value of p? The value of p is the distance from the vertex to the directrix or the vertex to the focus. It looks like, obviously, the value of p is going to be 4. So it looks like, whoops, you know what I did? H is 0, so this should be y squared equals 4px. I'm sure you all were yelling out this video when I did that. So y squared is 4px. So now, since p is 4, 16x But now let's check the sign. If I were to sketch this in, it'd be something like this. You know what? I know it's got to be negative. All right, one more. This time, they give me the vertex of -2, 3, and then they say the directrix is x equals 1. Once again, my strong advice is to graph this, because if you graph it, you're probably going to keep yourself from getting confused and making a mistake. So let's see what we can graph. The vertex, -2, 3. The directrix, x equals 1. So what do I know? Well, I know if my directrix is here, my vertex is here. The parabola always opens up away from the directrix. So it must be one of these kinds of parabolas. I know my focus is over here. How about, can I find the value of, let's take a step back. Let's go ahead and just write down the standard equation for this kind of parabola. Once again, the y is going to be squared. So y minus k, quantity squared, equals 4p x minus h. I know the vertex, so I can plug in for k and h. So it's going to be y, let's think about this, should be y minus 3 squared equals 4p x plus 2. Now, can I figure out my p? Well, what is p? P is the distance from the focus to the directrix. Looks like it's 3. So y minus 3 quantity squared equals 12 x plus 2. However, let's check the sign of the coefficient. Looks like it should be negative, right? So we need to go and tack on the negative, and there we go. All right, so hopefully, once you work some of these problems, you'll find out that working with parabolas is not that hard once you get the hang of what all these things mean.